Hey guys, Bill here. How we doing today? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing good. So you can see behind me, got the Jeep sitting here. I think we're going to start on it today. Now I think first thing we're going to do is we're going to do something about the seats. The seats just set too high. I've been looking at them and I have a couple of ideas, but those ideas require cutting the brackets down. I've heard those brackets are kind of hard to come by, but what do you do? It's either that or rip the seats apart and try to cut the foam down and reupholster them, you know? I guess that's not too crazy. One of the problems is, I think I said I'm fairly short and I've got a short torso, so, and I'm really close to the roll bar. I could just see myself hitting a bump and hitting my head, knock myself out, go run off the road, crash and burn, and no, I'm just kidding. But anyway, at the very least, leave a bump, you know? And the passenger side, and that's just the driver's side, and the passenger side is even taller than the driver's side. So it's just, they just don't fit in there. Those are the best top seats. The original seats are long gone. They're probably, no telling where they are. And they just, you know, I've heard that the original seats are thinner. I don't know. I don't have a set to compare them to. So let me show you what we're looking at here. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, if it'll come across on the camera very well, but that passenger seat is quite a bit taller than the driver's seat. And I think I measured it, and I think it's about, well, let me show you. I put a straight edge across it. You know, we're probably a good 2 inches, possibly 3 inches on the bolsters. I mean, this bolster might be pushed down a little bit, but it's a big difference. You know, the backs are about the same, but I think that's because one of them is leaned back farther than the other. But this part here, you know, that doesn't help with this part. So, and this one here, I think, let me get this out of the way. So I don't know if you can see down in here or not. Well, let me get a light. So you can see, somebody see right there, there's a spacer in there that they welded, and that's probably a good 2-inch spacer. And it's like that on both sides. So I'm thinking on the driver's side, I'm gonna cut that spacer out, take the brackets off, the seat off the brackets, and maybe take see if how much I can get out of this riser right here and bring that thing down. I got plenty of room in here between the tank and the seat. I got plenty of room back here in the back. So I think that would make a huge difference on this side. Then go around here to the other side. And this side here, same thing. Somebody welded a spacer on the back of it. And I think they did that because to keep it from hitting back here, because there is a little, let's raise this up. See, there is a little spot where it was rubbing right there. But I think if I take that, cut that off, and this bracket here, I was looking, and I don't know if that's gonna, and so this bracket bolts on this side, it bolts right here onto the body. But if you look underneath here, there's a hole right here. And I don't know what that hole is for, but it's accessible from in the toolbox here. If I move this down to here and then shorten that leg over there, that might give me what I want as far as getting it down lower. Again, I'm just trying to make this thing fit me and my wife. Right now it doesn't fit us, and me with my this and that's not compatible. So there's that. You know, I can either lose this or modify the seat. I think I'm going to go with modifying the seat brackets. So, all right, well, let's get started. All right, guys, so I took the seats out, got rid of took the stock brackets off, and I blocked the seats up at the position where I want them, and these are just about right. It's a nice comfortable seating position, and there's plenty of room in here. So I think that's where we're gonna put them. I'm gonna build some custom brackets rather than cut up those. I think it'd be easier just to start from scratch and build some. So my thoughts are maybe just one piece of square tubing going from here all the way across, and some flat plate going under the seats, and then I can just bolt the seat to the flat plate and try to incorporate some sort of still have the swivel mechanism over here, so I can swivel the seat up to get to the toolbox. So unfortunately, I don't have any square tubing. So I think I have a whole bunch of this angle iron. So I think, and this is fairly thick, so I'm thinking I'm going to just put it together like that and weld it, and that'll be my bracket. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but I have a whole bunch of this, and I might as well make do with what I got if I can make it work and make it look right. So anyway, let's I'll get busy on that, and I'll come back when I have that front piece made. All right guys, here's where we're at. I got this bar here made. I talked about, I welded the two pieces of angle together, and I laid a, I cut this at an angle right here, and I laid a piece of flat stock on here and bent it, and then there's a piece of flat stock underneath, and it's, I'm not sure what the thickness, probably 3/16. Each one of them is probably 3/16, possibly. They might be a 1/4 inch. I don't know. But anyway, that should be plenty strong enough. And I'm going to. I mean, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but at the end of the day, it's going to be under the seats. And I'll clean this up. I'll make it. You'll see probably that much of it, maybe that much of it. This part here, I'll make that look good. The rest of it, I'm not too concerned about. I just want it functional. And so I decided to go all the way across with one piece. And this passenger seat will have my swivels here, so it'll still swivel up. My toolbox still opens. And over here on the driver's side, I cut up the original bracket for the seat. I cut those flat pieces out, and I'm still probably gonna cut maybe a 1/2 inch or so. I want to get this as close to the gas tank as possible without touching it. I'll probably leave a 1/4 inch or maybe a 1/2 inch in, probably a 1/2 inch in between that and the gas tank. And in the middle here, I thought, well, it might flex, so I'm gonna just put I have a hole right here where the stock seat bolted, and I'll just put a flat plate there and weld an upright from here down, and that will make it nice and rigid, and it's not going anywhere. And this should get me about probably a good 2 to 3 inches lower on my seat, which will be perfect, because I'm eventually going to get rid of that column when I upgrade the steering and do a tilt steering column in it, so it looks good, yeah, all the originality of this Jeep is going out the window as far as this kind of stuff goes. The engine's probably going to stay, the drivetrain's going to stay the way it is, and I'll upgrade the wheels and tires probably, and do the resto mod stuff. So I guess you call it resto mod, I don't know what you call it, but it's not going to stay original factory stock. So there's a lot of factory stock ones out there, so this one's not going to be one of them. Anyway, I will figure out how much I need to cut out of this bracket here, and I'll get that done. And I'll come back when I have that seat mounted. Stick around. All right, guys. So I got my bracket for the driver's side built. So I've got the one piece that goes across. I actually used the seat brackets, the original seat brackets, and I didn't want to cut those up, but
You know, because I heard, well, you know, I heard on, or I read, I didn't hear, I read online that, oh yeah, those original seat brackets, those are worth something, you know, there's value to those. And well, there's value to those to me too, because they made it a heck of a lot easier for me to build this setup here. So they got sacrificed. And in the middle here, I was worried about a little bit of flex, you know. So I actually took and cut a piece of the pipe out of the original seat bracket and made me an upright here. You can see I bolted it right here to where the original bracket bolted to. In the back, I have it bolted down. And if you come around to this side over here, for whatever reason, this was the mounting hole, I guess, because there's no hole over here on this side. And this is where these mounted in the same position on the original seat upright bracket. But there was a hole, a threaded hole right here next to it, so I built me a little plate to go across here, and I'll be able to bolt that down right there. So I just got this tacked. So I need to pull it out and weld it up, permanent weld it. And I built these little pads here just to help reinforce, because this was pushing straight down and I didn't want to take a chance on cracking this here. So I put these pads in here, and I don't know if that's overkill or what, but I feel better about it. So that's going to spread that weight out a little bit, and we'll get this welded up solid. Then we'll get it put back in, and I'll start working on the passenger side. So this actually gave me about almost 2 inches difference in between here and the seat. It's a perfect seating position for me, because when I'm sitting in it, I'm looking, eyesight is right in the middle of the windshield, so it's perfect. Anyway, we'll get it welded up, and then we'll come back when I figure out how I'm going to do the other side. So, all right, guys, this is where we're at with the passenger seat. So I have the driver's seat all taken care of over there, the brackets. So what I did to keep the passenger seat the same height and the same front to back as the driver's seat, I just clamped these pieces here, this angle iron, across. I lined up my holes, my mounting holes for my seat, right in the center, front and back, and came all the way across. And I figured out where I needed it, and I put some pads here and here. That's going to be where the front of the seat mounts to. And then I came over here and I grabbed the seat, and I put some protective, it's like a anti-spark, anyway, it's like a deflection paper to help you know, to kind of keep fire at bay. So I was welding on my seat here, my seat bracket, and you can see where it kind of, but anyway, this is what I did. I lined up my holes, my mounting holes in my seat brackets here. I just started with these two here. That's 1/4 inch thick, and I put holes for my bracket, for my mounts. And when I did, then I bolted it down, And I have a piece, got a piece of this. I think it's about 3 inch, maybe 4 inch. I don't know, something 3.5, something like that. But it's not real thick. It's fairly thin. This is all stuff that I had left over from other stuff. And I set it on here. I cut it, I set it on here and tacked it. You know, and just to keep, that way I could keep my mounting bracket where I needed it. So I'm going to come over here, and what I'm going to do, and see these holes here, they're going to line up with those holes over there. So I'm going to slide this under here, and I'm going to just put these right, and line those up and clamp them so they're centered on these pads. And then from there I will start building my legs to go down to the floor. You know, it might seem like a kind of a crude way to do it. I don't know, maybe it is, maybe it's not, but it's what works for me. All right, let's get these clamped up here. So we're pretty much centered right there. Up. Turned over. Okay, so you kind of get the idea here. That's where my seat bracket's going to be. That's where my seat's going to sit. So I need to fill in here. I'm going to do something to make so it'll still swing up, and I just need to build some legs for the back here. That's just going to go straight down to the floor and have a foot on the bottom of it. So. And that should work. And down the road, I'm planning to build a center console to go in here. Something that's, you know, I haven't got that far yet, but that's what's gonna be there. Anyway, I guess I need to figure this out. All right, guys, this is where we're at. I made these brackets here. I got the rough shape and welded them all together and ran my drill, put them in the drill press and drill my hole so they're all the same down through all 4 of them. So those are right. And then after that, I just cleaned them up and shaped them the size, the way I wanted. And so my plan is to put these right here, and that'll be raised up because it's just drooping right now. And then I'm going to use these guys right here. I wanted to get round thick wall bushings, and I found them. They're a Tractor Supply, a thick wall bushing and this is 7/16 hole. It was $30 or $29 each, and I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. So I found these guys, and these will work just fine. They won't look as good, but then they're under the seat, and actually they'll set flat against this, so it'll make it so it'll be better that way in that respect. So my thought is, let me set you up here. So we're gonna we'll do one bushing, or one bracket, one bushing, the other bracket, and it'll set like that right there. And I think that'll be just fine. That'll let my seat swivel. That puts me at the same height all the way across. So I just got to get it all welded up here. I think that's going to work out just fine. All right, we'll get this all welded up and come back. All right, guys, there it is. It's all done. I'm going to end up taking it back out and painting it. I'm not going to do that right now. But both seats are setting exactly where they need to be. They're set level across. The backs are level across. And it's a very nice seating position. Well, as nice as it can be. Your eyesight's about right. Center windshield. Passenger seat tilts. It even stays up by itself. You can get to the toolbox. You see, before it was hitting right here and wore a hole in it. Now it's probably 1.5 inches away. Driver's side, same deal. I could actually go farther back with the driver's side if I need to. I actually thought about putting adjusters in there on the driver's seat to be able to slide it back and forth, but I'm the only one that's going to be driving it, so I got it set up for me. If it ever goes away, the next guy, if he wants to do that, he can, but there's plenty of room in here. So I'm going to call this a success. So one project down on it. Well, I think that deserves some pure Rocky Mountain spring water. Nice and cold. It's a little warm today. It's probably about 90 degrees. So yeah, I think we're But summer is winding down. It's definitely got a chill in there in the mornings. So, cheers. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well, that was the first project on the Jeep. And there's going to be more. Probably next time we'll tackle the wiring. I've been thinking about that wiring. I think I'm going to have to start with the grounds. I got a feeling I got some bad grounds, but that'll be next time. So, you guys, if you want to see more on this Jeep, stick around and come back. And we're going to have a lot of videos on it. So, anyway, till next time, you guys take care, and we will see you.